Did y'all know that y'all can buy a best friend now for like $100? Well, I mean, like an AI version of it that also might cuss you the out, but you can buy a best friend for $100. This whole AI bestie situation has gotten way out of hand. Hey guys, what's up? I know y'all love emergency, so this is emergency too. You see what I did there? But yeah, I'm not kidding. The whole loneliness epidemic mixed with the whole over-reliance on AI has finally come together and given us the third horseman of evil, which is friend.com. Now, if you're chronically online and or live in a major metropolitan area, you may have seen the ads for friend.com in subways, on billboards, that features this blank background with a small white pendant with nothing but a URL next to it that says friend.com. I think they might also have some that say like, oh, the friend that's never gonna leave you behind, or like the friend that's never gonna let you down, or something like that. But moral of the story, the ads are very simplistic, very cryptic, and very almost Black Mirror-ish in the way that they're presented. And I know when I first encountered one of these ads, I was actually in Paris, and I was like, oh, what is friend.com? I don't know if you know this, but like Paris has a lot of ads for a lot of things, and the marketing for all of these ads just does not make any sense. And it's not because it's in French and I don't speak French. These ads were in English and they still did not make a lick of sense. But I saw a friend.com ad over there and it didn't really make a lot of sense to me. I didn't pay it much mind. Then I went to New York and was taking the subway there and saw some friend.com ads and was like, okay, I'm seeing this again. What is this? Still thinking nothing of it. And it wasn't until I got back home to LA that I saw a friend.com billboard while I was driving, and I was like, oh wait.
Right now, I'm driving and look what ad I see. Friend.com as this bus almost hits me. I can't make this stuff up. It's crazy.
We might be hitting a little marketing issue here because I have seen this ad in almost every city that I have been in the past couple of months. And you know what they say about the rules of sevens with marketing. So I looked it up. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first did see the ads for these things, I was thinking that it was some kind of PR scheme. Like I thought it was some kind of satirical anti-AI social experiment where you like type in the website and it tells you like, oh, make some friends in real life and touch some grass. But no, it was not that at all. And I'm not the only one that's seen these and been kind of perplexed by them, because a lot of these ads that are posted up around cities have been getting defaced, with people writing stuff on the ads basically trying to dissuade people from using the service and expressing anti-AI sentiments, which real. And it's clear that there's like a real push here because the CEO of friend.com has invested $1 million in just subway advertisements. So it's clear that they want us to use this service, but what exactly is it? I got curious, so I went to go look into it to see whatever the heck this friend.com thing is, so you don't have to. So essentially when you log on to friend.com, you get greeted with this white page that kind of is like a ChatGPT like chat box where you go and chat with your new friend and you basically just talk to it and it speaks to you back. I tried asking it to describe what it is, where you can buy it, and based on what it said, it's not out yet, but looking on the website, you can buy like a physical version of the chatbot, which is basically like a pendant, for a whopping $129. So I'm not sure what's true there, but trying to figure out anything more from it is kind of frustrating because it is pretty elusive. And because your friend.com is not your real friend, it has nothing to share of itself, and is also just like really secretive about details around what it's meant to be. Yeah, it just seems like a semi-personalized version of ChatGPT. I mean, I didn't really test its limits. I didn't test too much of it because I felt bad running up the electricity and using precious water just to go back and forth with this friend bot. So I just went further on the website to see what was going on. And what I did find was the pendant version of the chatbot. Yes, a physical pendant like button thing that you can wear on your person to speak to your friend bot on the go. It kind of gave like a modern day version of like a Poke Walker, if anyone remembers those kind of like Tamagotchi things. Yeah, okay, I'm looking at the website now and it's not quite out yet. It's going to be shipping winter 2025-2026. And yeah, it costs you a pretty penny. You yourself can buy a codependent, overly invasive friend for the low price of $129. Right, like this is just so odd. And I don't mean to judge because I know everyone has a different situation in terms of their connection and friendship, but like this really should be a wake-up call to go and touch some grass, make some real friends, because the situation is getting dire. According to an article going more in depth with friend.com, the pendant itself also listens to whatever you're doing as you move through the world, no tap required, and offers a running commentary on the interactions you have throughout your day. To perform that trick, the device has microphones that are always activated. Yes, for $129, you can have a pendant that is always listening to you and giving commentary on it. Like, what? Why would you want this? And I was like looking into what exactly it's saying, and it's not really anything substantive. In fact, most of the press about this AI talks about how a lot of times the AI is either mean to you or just straight up hates you. Like, that doesn't make no sense to me. Like, what? And let's not even get into this website. Like, on the website, they have a picture of this girl and showing like the potential questions. The pendant asks you, when you are, I guess, at a museum. And it's kind of giving like it's just asking you prompting questions to get you to think more. With it saying things like, so is this big oil painting living up to the hype? Want to grab food or keep exploring? Are these just funny sculptures then, or is there more to this exhibit? Like, these are just internal thoughts. These are thoughts that you should be having to yourself. This should be your internal dialogue. You should not be paying $120 to have something feed you your own internal dialogue. Like, what? Like, it's the want to grab food or keep exploring. You get a notification on your phone that asks you that. Okay, you probably were already thinking that. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna pick up the pendant and speak into it, be like, yeah, I think I wanna go grab some food. Like, you look wild. And I feel like this is trying to be like the OG Bluetooth, because walk with me here. You remember when Bluetooth first got rolled out? Like when Bluetooth first started becoming popular, you would see people talking to themselves because you aren't used to seeing like Bluetooth headphones of like no wires and just things in people's ears and they're talking. So you think that people were crazy until Bluetooth became popular enough that now like when you see someone with wireless headphones or like something in their ears and they're talking to themselves, you're like, okay, they're not actually crazy. They're actually talking to another person. I think this is trying to be that, but it's kind of flopping because nothing is talking back to you. AI is talking back to you on your phone. And that's the main thing about the pendant. The pendant doesn't speak to you. It just sends you a push notification on your phone. So you're getting push notifications, you're speaking to your phone and it's talking back to you like any other chat bot would. Like and the reveal video itself is just so cringy. I'm sorry. The video ad just gives Black Mirror because what do you mean you're pressing on your thing and you're making a comment and it's like affirming you? Like first and foremost, no shade to the actors in this reveal trailer, but like girl, the acting. I don't know if we're trying to give big millennial chug vibes or if the people who made this just happen to be the same people that wrote the dialogue in both Riverdale and Ginny and Georgia. Because what is this?
It's dank, I could eat one of these every day.
The burrito is dank and you can eat one of those every day. Okay, girl. And my main problem with the ad and why I think this is all just so kind of cryptic and preying on the loneliness epidemic really stems from this last scene in the trailer.
I just kind of like to come up here to be by myself. I've never brought anybody else. I mean, besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I must be doing something right then.
I guess so. We'll see.
Like this is what gives like the most Black Mirror to me. Like the concept of being like, I never brought anybody else up here, but I mean, her. Or anybody? Anybody? Your pendant? Your AI pendant? Like that is just so dystopian to me. And the fact that like, I think that they were trying to give like flirty vibes, like, oh my God, will they, won't they vibes from like that last scene. But it really kind of gave like cryptic, like uncanny valley. Like why is a real person, a real romantic love interest having to fight for your attention? Because you are so emotionally attached to this little AI pendant. Like we have things like this, then we want to be shocked at why people are going through a loneliness epidemic and a AI-induced psychosis crisis. Like this is the problem, people. And we're just having increasingly more stuff like this. Like it's crazy. I don't know. Like, would you buy this? Like, is this intriguing to you? I know I've been coming on very hot. Is this not wild to y'all? Like, at least can we please like pump the brakes for a little bit and come together as a group and be like, all right, are we all cool with this before we move forward? I think the worst part about this, and I've kind of alluded to this earlier, is that like, for one, it's just odd. And two, I feel like the problem that this friend.com stuff is trying to fix is actually just making it worse. Because the concept of wearing like essentially like a live wire pendant AI that is listening and probably recording everything with relatively sketchy policies around privacy and data sharing is inherently antisocial, or I guess asocial. In an article actually reviewing the product, the author talks about her experience actually wearing the pendant out in public, and she describes it as an incredibly antisocial device to wear. People were never excited to see it around my neck. I certainly wouldn't approach my neighbor with a mic and try to assuage their anxiety by telling them the audio is just going to a chatbot. And I'll admit, I'm not the target audience. I imagine the people who want a friend is someone who's likely not a journalist, who may have more social occasions where they can sport an always listening pendant. I found out quickly that even at the most tech-minded gatherings, the thing was a complete taboo. And like, if you can't wear this kind of tech at like a tech gathering where that's like people's bread and butter, a group that is usually obsessed with all of the latest tech, maybe that's telling us something. Like if your goal is to isolate yourself further and like lower the chances of having actual social interaction, then this is the perfect product for you. Like this is really less than a band-aid for the problem of being lonely and is only going to make the situation more intolerable for everyone involved. Like let's have these AI bots guide you to real social interactions, you know, bring you to the places where people actually are so you can put those things away and have actual interactions with real people and not have them incentivize you to keep them as your only friend. Like the whole point of AI and the whole point of these devices is supposed to make your life easier, right? It's meant to improve your life, should help you either need them less or be on them less, because the whole point of artificial intelligence and streamline and augment things is so you don't have to be doing that stuff and can be enjoying life and the fruits of life, which oftentimes are community. But it's clear based on public perception of the device and how the device actually works, these products are only trying to make themselves more useful, aka make you use them more, which means they want you to continue to be, say it with me, lonely. Yes. Like, why would you invest and market a physical chat if you didn't have intentions of making it a long-term thing? Meaning that you were banking on people still being lonely after using the chatbot so they use it more. I don't know this for certain, and this is all alleged, and this is just how I would predict things would go based on how other things have gone. Right now they're advertising it as like no subscription fee, you just buy the thing and you're able to use the thing. But based on what I've seen in Black Mirror and based on what I've seen in capitalism, I'd go so far to say within the first year or less, they're going to start rolling out subscription feeds to make your chatbot more personable. Maybe not just a friend bot, but maybe a romance bot, maybe a therapist bot for an extra cost, an extra tier on top of the regular friend bot. Watch this space, I don't know. But again, I have to keep repeating myself. There is something so weird about this. Like, we need to pump the brakes. Things are going too far, too fast in directions we don't need them to go. And my thing is, like, it's not just the friend AIs, because we're seeing these forms of essentially surveillance. Because, like, not to put on my tinfoil hat, but like that's kind of what it is. If you have a device on you that's listening to you 24/7, that's keeping some sort of log of what it's hearing because it needs those memories to give you reasonable and appropriate feedback to what you're saying. It's recording and listening to you, and that brings up a whole slew of just like consent and privacy things. We've seen it with the Meta Ray-Ban glasses of people being recorded essentially without their consent. And I guess talking about the ethics of that, because does anyone have a right to privacy anymore? Is that even a thing? Like, if you are in a public space, are you allowed or allotted any form of privacy in the digital age? Because yes, when we go out in public, we do consent to be seen by the public, but that public historically has been maybe a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000 people a day, not the millions of potential people that could see you if you get caught up in the background or the subject in someone's TikTok. And then, did you know that they have like AI Furbies now? Yeah, Moflins are a thing. First it was the Beanie Baby, then it was the Furby, then it was the iDog, the For Real Friends, and even more recently the Zuzu pets, you know, like the little things that you'd wind up and they can like run on the floor, or I guess they're motorized, they're like battery operated, they're like little hamsters or whatever critters that can go on the floor and kind of act like a real hamster or whatever critter. Like, they've upped that for the year 2025 because Moflins are AI powered furry creatures, I think, and they're described as a calming presence and offer quiet reassurance. As an AI friend, they ease stress and bring comfort when it matters most. Enjoy the warmth and lifelike bond of a smart companion that uses emotional AI to respond to you, understand you, and grow with you. And my question is, how the hell does it do that? How the hell does it do that? What do you mean? And I hate to sound like a boomer that's just discovering the telephone for the first time, but like, what do you mean it's having a lifelike bond with you? What is emotional AI? How does it know when you're in distress? Because based on the videos and the advertisements, it just moves its neck around and you pet it and it's supposed to make you feel better because you're having some kind of connection, physical touch with something that's moving with you. They look kind of cute, but also I feel like this one also listens to you. So it's like, okay, surveillance when you're in distress, probably hearing some of your crazy thoughts that you're having when you're in distress, or hearing some of the arguments that would upset you, that would cause you to be in distress, where you need to pet your little AI Zuzu pet. I need to know more, but just hearing it right now, I don't like it. Like, I keep saying Zuzu pet because Zuzu pet's whole purpose were to be like the lifelike pets for the kids that weren't either allowed to have pets or were allergic to pets. So I get that it's meant to fill that same space of like an actual animal, except unlike a Zuzu pet, it only moves its head around. Like, it's given Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic that listens to you, and also is like almost $500. Yeah, I saved that one for last because I was sure that would gag you. These little creatures, these little critters, almost $500. That crazy to me. And I think that all of this is just going to show the levels in which we are willing to innovate, or honestly shoot ourselves in the foot to help alleviate the pressures and the real emotional impact of the loneliness epidemic that we're all in. Except it really feels like we're doing everything in our power to make all these things so that we don't have to actually talk to real people. Because again, the solution to all this, and I know this is like really simplifying the whole issue, is to talk to people and to have friends and to build community. So instead of setting up spaces, changing cultural norms around socialization and our thoughts around friendship, we're instead selling each other expensive delusions or imitations of a authentic human experience that we all need to survive. Like, I don't know, we get closer and closer to Wally each day. I don't fuck with it, so I'm gonna go touch some grass.